Most people are sitting on a business, and they don't even know it. Right in their backyard, right inside their compound. Animals that cost almost nothing to start, but can quietly turn into steady income. And here's the crazy part. Some of these animals don't need expensive feed. Some don't need much space. And one of them? You can start it with almost zero cost. But if you pick the wrong one, you'll waste your time, lose your money, and quit before you ever see profit. So in this video, I'm going to show you 15 animals you can raise at home, but not just a random list. I'll show you which ones are the cheapest to start, which ones grow fast, and which ones can actually make you money quickly. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you can start immediately, even with little or no money. So before we get into it, if you want simple farming ideas that actually work and can start making you money fast, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We're beginning with cheap animals you can raise at home and turn into income. Some are easier than you think. Number 15, chickens. Easy to start, fast to grow. But here's why people keep coming back to chickens. They're cheap to start. You can begin small, even with just a few birds, and grow gradually without pressure. They're relatively safe. They adapt quickly, and with basic care, survival rate is decent. And they're profitable. Eggs, meat, even manure. Everything has value. But here's the catch. If you ignore feeding cost and management, they can quietly eat up your profit. Still, once you understand the system, chickens can become one of the most reliable income sources. 14. Snails. Low cost, low space. Why they're cheap? You don't need expensive housing or feed. They survive on vegetables and organic waste. Why they're safe? No noise, no stress, and very low risk compared to other animals. Why they're profitable? Snail meat sells well, and demand is steady. But here's the downside. They grow slowly, but if you're patient, they become a quiet money machine in the background. 13. Rabbits. Fast reproduction equals fast expansion. Cheap to start. You don't need a big space. And feeding cost is manageable. Safe and easy. They're calm, easy to handle, and beginner-friendly. Profitable. They multiply fast, meaning your stock can grow quickly. But here's the problem. One small mistake in care, and they stop breeding completely. Still, once you get it right, growth becomes exponential. 12. Catfish. Very popular, high demand, cheap if done smart. You can start small with a few tanks or ponds. Safe. Fish farming is controlled, less exposure to external risks. Profitable. Catfish sells fast, almost everywhere. But many beginners lose money. Why? Because of poor water management and feeding mistakes. Fix that, and catfish becomes a serious income stream. 11. Ducks. Stronger than chickens. Cheap. They can feed on natural sources, reducing cost. Safer. Ducks are more resistant to diseases. Profitable. Eggs plus meat equals double income stream. They survive conditions that kill other birds. Disadvantage? They can be messy and need water access. But if you manage that, they're one of the easiest birds to raise. 10. Goats. Great for meat production. Cheap. They eat grass and local feed, low feeding costs. Safe. Very hardy animals. Survive tough conditions. Profitable. High demand for meat, especially during festive periods. But here's the danger. Feed them wrongly, and your profit disappears. Still, manage feeding well, and goats can build serious wealth over time. 9. Bees. Honey equals high value. Cheap. No daily feeding needed. Safe if handled properly. They They mostly take care of themselves. Profitable. Honey, wax, multiple income streams. They work for you without constant supervision. Disadvantage? You need basic knowledge to avoid stings. But once you learn it, this becomes one of the most passive farming incomes. 8. Pigs. Fast growth, big returns. Cheap, startup level. You can begin with few piglets. Profitable. They grow fast and produce large litters. Strong income potential. Pork demand is high. But here's the issue. They eat a lot. If you don't control feeding cost, you'll be working for the pigs. Manage it well, huge returns. 7. Quail. Small size, big profit potential. Cheap. They need very little space. Safe. Low maintenance and easy to manage. Profitable. They lay eggs very quickly. Faster than chickens. Disadvantage? Market awareness is still growing. But that's also the opportunity. Less competition. 6. Dogs, breeding. High-value market. Cheap, depending on breed. Start with one quality pair. Profitable. Puppies can sell for high prices. Safe. Low mortality if properly cared for. But here's the truth. Cliffhanger. If you choose the wrong breed, you won't make money. Choose right? This becomes a premium business. 5. Turkeys. Bigger than chickens equals more value. Cheap. Similar setup to chickens. Safe. Strong birds when managed well. Profitable. High demand during festive seasons. One sale can equal multiple chickens. Disadvantage? They require more attention early on. But once grown, they bring bigger returns. 4. Grass cutters. Very profitable, cheap. Feed on grass and local materials. Safe. Adapt well to local conditions. Profitable. Very high market value. But here's the truth. They're not as easy as people think. You need proper housing and care. But once set up correctly, this is a serious moneymaker. 3. Maggots. Yes, maggots. Cheapest of all, you can grow them from waste. Safe. No disease risk if managed properly. Profitable. They reduce feeding costs drastically. You can feed your chickens for free. Disadvantage? Not everyone is comfortable with it. But smart farmers? They use it to maximize profit. 2. Crayfish/small aquatic farming. High demand. Cheap. Small-scale systems are affordable. Safe. Controlled environment. Profitable. Strong market demand. And here's the opportunity. Low competition in many areas. Disadvantage? Requires water management knowledge. But learn that, and you're ahead of most people. Now here's the truth. There is no perfect animal. The best one depends on your space, your budget, your goal. But if you're starting today, choose something low cost, easy to manage, and quick to grow. Because the goal is simple. Start small, learn fast, and scale up. Now you see, you don't need a big farm. You don't need millions. Opportunities are already around you, right in your backyard. And the only difference between people making money and those still waiting is action. If you want to know which of these animals can make you money the fastest, don't miss the next video, because I'll break down the top 3 you should start with immediately, based on real profit, low cost, and fast results. So subscribe now, because that next video might be the one that actually gets you started.